Good morning, Ezra. What do you got there? Is that your glowworm? That's your glowworm? And what's the problem with the glowworm, Ezra? You want to tell me the problem? Push the button. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Okay, ready? What's the problem? Listen closely. It shuts off. It doesn't do a whole song, does it? Ezra, what's the customer's concern? Hey guys, you saw our customer. Our customer was not happy. This guy here, Mr. Glowworm, you can see poor tone, dim light, doesn't even finish a song. There you go. It cut out. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the five-step troubleshooting process, identify the problem, and then so the five-step process is um, verify the customer's concern. We just did that. We're going to analyze the symptoms. After we analyze the symptoms, that'll give us a chance to isolate the problem. We'll run some tests. Once we isolate the problem, we'll go ahead, make the repair. Once the repair's been made, we'll go ahead, verify proper operation. Once this thing's fixed correctly and we run it through its test drive, we'll go ahead and give it back to the customer and document our work using what we call the 3 C's. So that's going to be the lesson for this project, and we'll see you when I start doing the diagnostics. So here you go. Step one in the diagnostic process is to verify the customer's concern. So here we go. I'm going to activate the glowworm. We got a dim light, and it doesn't even finish a song. So I'll try one more time. Next step is going to be analyze the symptoms. So once we verify the once we verify the customer's concern, the next step is to analyze the symptoms. So we have two obvious symptoms. You can call it three. The first symptom would be the visual, which is the light. His face is supposed to glow up, bright light, and the light's dim. And we also have low volume, and it won't finish a song. So when we're analyzing the symptoms, we have to kind of understand how the equipment works. This thing is battery operated, so when I have something that's battery operated, number one, I'm going to assume that it's electrical, an electrical component that's causing the issue. And number two, if I've studied electrical, I know that when we have low voltage, we're going to have dim lights, right? So one of the first things I can check here after analyzing that symptom of just the dim light itself, it's going to point me in the direction of maybe we should start by checking the voltage. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and you'll get a chance to see the batteries, and then I'll show you how I check the batteries to verify whether or not they're good and see if we need to do any further diagnosis beyond the battery. So I've analyzed the symptoms. Now I'm going to isolate the problem. To do that, we typically need some testing equipment. Here I have my multimeter, and I have a screwdriver because this is going to be an intrusive test. Most of the time, we have to open a hood, remove a cover to access the serviceable components. So on this glowworm, we flip them around. We got a Velcro. We can open up that Velcro. This glowworm does not have a central nervous system. It's not going to feel any of this. We'll go ahead and take out this this sound box here, and this is the magic inside of a glowworm. All right, buddy, you go over there. You'll be all right. So we have a speaker, a button, and a lamp. We're going to go ahead and open up the access cover or the service cover, and we'll check the battery voltage. So we got 3 batteries in there. Each one of these batteries is a double A. So if you look closely on a double A battery, you'll be able to see that it's 1.5 volts. So I'm going to pull these batteries out. Anytime I'm working on a small, whoa, excuse me. Anytime I'm working on a small component, I like to look at the connections to make sure there's no corrosion. These AA batteries, if they get left in a toy or other device for a long period of time, they will leak out, and then whatever acid they leak out can damage the toy. So next, we're going to check the voltage. So just to show you, real quick, that's an alkaline battery, 1.5 volts. So this battery should be at least, I mean, if I'm trying to save money, 70 to 80% of 1.5 volts. So 1.4, I'd still let it fly. Anything lower than that, I'm going to be replacing that battery. One of the things about batteries is all battery-powered devices are considered DC, which is direct current. What that means is they have a flat line for their voltage operation. What we're going to do here is we're going to go to the DC scale on our meter, and these are 1.5 volt batteries. So I'm just going to set my scale, and then I have 3 ports on this multimeter. So I'm going to be measuring voltage, and then common is where we put our negative or ground test lead. So I'm going to hook my common test lead, and then my red test lead would be my positive. And we'll plug that in here. And when I look closely at these batteries, at these AA's, they have a positive symbol and a negative symbol. So I'm going to make sure that I'm putting the negative test lead or black test lead on the negative symbol and the red test lead on the positive symbol. This battery is supposed to be 1.5 volts. We're going to check that voltage. Once they drop under 1.5, they've essentially lost their ability to perform to full capacity. So you could see that glowworm was working somewhat. Let's see what kind of voltages we have. That is 831 millivolts or 0.831 volts. So that's well less than 1 volt. So that battery's no good. Okay, so we're going to set that in the no good pile. We'll check the next one. This is, remember, we're isolating the problem, right? So we just verified we have 1 bad battery. Okay, so this is the actual test. We'll check the next battery. This one's 1.36 volts, right? So that's probably the one that was doing all the work. It's less than 1.5 though, so it's still considered no good, but it was doing something. Okay, and we'll check that third battery. We're 926 millivolts or 0.926 volts. So we have 3 batteries that are measuring less than 1.5 volts. I think we've isolated the problem to faulty batteries. Batteries are a serviceable component in this piece of equipment. So what we're going to do next is replace these batteries. I went and got myself some brand new batteries. Go ahead and open these up. We'll take out 3 of them. We'll check the voltage on a brand new battery. There's 1, 2, 3. We'll set that one. We'll save that for later. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. We're going to verify and make sure that our new batteries are good. Even if you're changing the battery in a car, you want to make sure that it's good before you send that customer away. Make sure it's fully charged. There we go. That's 1.6 volts. That would be a good battery. We'll put that in the good pile. Do the next one. 1.6 volts. Good pile. And the last battery. 1.6 volts. Next step, let's put this glowworm back together. We've isolated the problem. We verified that our old batteries had low voltage. Our new batteries have good voltage. The next step, step 4, make the repair. Making the repair in this case is pretty simple. We're just going to pop these batteries in. If you look inside, there's usually a diagram that shows you which direction the batteries go. In most cases, the side with the spring is the negative side. So I'm just going to pop these guys in. And before I complete my final assembly, I'm going to go ahead and push that button. And now we have a functioning glowworm. The light's nice and bright. The audio's, you can actually hear it. And it's going through the entire sequence of the song. Okay, now we're in the second song, so this thing's functioning properly. If I hit the button again, it stops. I'm going to call this good. So we've made the repair. That was the last step. The last step is to verify proper operation. So we're going to verify the operation one more time. I'll get this cover on. We'll install the voice box here back into the glowworm. And then we'll test it one more time before we return it to the customer. Bring glowworm back. Once again, he's not going to feel this. Does not have a central nervous system. And then I like to make sure I get the Velcro perfect, but that's just me. You do the Velcro however works for you. And one more test. And it's working. So we've confirmed proper operation or verified proper operation. This glowworm's ready to return to the customer. Ezra Sevilla, your glowworm's all fixed and ready to go. You want to give it a shot? Look at that. That's a sign of a happy customer. Legs are kicking, kind of a drooly smile, and big wide eyes. Job well done, guys. We'll see you next time. Claire, what was your observation of the 5-step troubleshooting process?
It's that the next project that he is going to do is another important project, not a short one. It's probably going to be some kind of long one that I probably won't know it, but just so you know.
Perfect. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.